Hello students, welcome back to my channel. This is Harsh and today we will discuss exercise 3.1 intro of class 12th mathematics, and the third chapter is matrix, which is quite easy chapter and short chapter as well. Okay, so let's begin. Our first topic name is matrix. So what is matrix? The definition of matrix given according to NCERT is a matrix is an ordered rectangular array of numbers of functions. The numbers of function are called the elements or the entries of a matrix. Okay, matrix is an ordered rectangular array of numbers of functions. Okay, this is the definition of matrix. Okay, it states that a matrix is an ordered rectangular array of numbers or functions. Okay, so what is matrix? Let me make you a matrix. For example, this is the matrix of order 3 into 3, which has element 1 2 3 4 7 4 6 8 7 9 4 5. Okay, this is the matrix of order 3 cross 3. Okay, there is nothing long and wide in this. Okay, as per the definition, it is given that matrix is ordered rectangular array which is ordered. This is rectangular and the arrays of number of function we have considered here: 1 4 7 2 6 9 3 8 5. These all are the numbers, and if you want to take functions, you can also take like sin x, cos x, tangent x, and or any other thing. Okay, this matrix which I have drawn here is of order 3 cross 3, which means that the first three which I have written here represent the number of rows. Okay, and the second number which I have written here represent the columns of this matrix. Okay, so what are the rows? Rows are these. Okay, which consists 1 4 7 2 6 9 3 8 5, the numbers. Okay, sorry, and the columns are these: 1 2 3 4 6 8 7 9 5. These are the columns. And okay, it is not possible, it is not mandatory that the matrix should be of the order 3 cross 3. It can be of the 2 cross 3, 4 cross 3, or 3 cross 4, 5 cross 3, and something else in the form of m cross n, where the m represent the number of rows and n represent the number of columns. Let me make you a general matrix. Okay, this is a1 1, a2 1, a3 1. Okay, here we have a1 2, a1 3, a sorry, here a2 1 2 2 will come because I'll explain you later about this. Okay, a3 2. Okay, next up we have a1 n, or you can I'll explain later about this n's and m's. Okay, for now I'm writing here 1 3, a 2 3, a 2, a 3 4 3 3, sorry. This is a general representation of a matrix. Okay, where a11 represent the element first of the first column and the first row, and this A1 to represent the element of the first row and the second column. And okay students, have you noticed a thing that these numbers are just matching like the computer Excel sheets? Okay, some of you may be familiar with the Excel sheets. What are the Excel sheets? The naming of the cell in a Excel is also made like this. Okay, where the first cell and where the first cell is represented by the A11, which represents the cell is lying in the first row and the first column. The same thing is applied here. Okay, and apart from that, what are the basics and the real life application of matrix? Matrix are used to make the calculations easier. Okay, and for making calculations easier, I will explain later how does it make the calculations easier. Okay, but for now, let's see what are the elements. Okay, the definition of elements given according to NCERT is the entries of the matrix are known as elements. Entries of a matrix are elements. I just forgot to write down the E here, that's why I'm writing it elements. Okay, so what is definition of elements? It states that entries of a matrix are elements. There is nothing long and wide in it. What are the entries? These are the entries which I have made here: 1 4 7 2 6 9 3 8 5. These all are the entry which I have put here. Okay, and these are also known as elements. Okay, for now pause the video to note it down. Okay students, let's see what is order of matrix. Our topic is order of matrix. Let me make a matrix here: A11, A12, AI1, A I1, and at last AM1. Okay, in row we have A12, A13, A13, A1J, A1J, and A1N. A1N. Okay, A22, A23, until A2J, A2J, and at last A2N. I will explain you later what are this 1N, 2J, and what these values. Okay, and the third, you cannot say this third row. Okay, AI2, I2, AI3, making here dots, AIJ, and here AIN. Okay, not here dots, AM2, AM2, AM3, AMJ, and at last AMN. This is the matrix of order m cross n, which means that this matrix has m number of rows and n numbers of column. Okay, now let's see what I have made here. Okay, this is the first element of this matrix, and this matrix consists of m number of rows which I have written here m number of rows and n number of columns. Okay, and now let's see why I have made here dots. I have written here some imaginary numbers like I, M, J, and N. Okay, what does this imaginary numbers mean? That these imaginary numbers means that I have, let's see, a11, a12, and after that what should come in your ordinance? I think here a13 should come, because I'm regret for the mistake here. 21 will come because it is in the second row and the first column. Here a31 should come because it is in the third column, but for a moment, see here I have made dots, which means that this matrix is going on. We don't have an ending point for now here. Okay, and after that I have written AMN, which means that this, we don't have an idea of how many number of rows and how many number of columns are here. Okay, that's why we have written here M and N here, because for number of columns. Okay, this was just the representation, general representation of a matrix, how you will represent the matrix. Okay, now let's have a look at some basic questions, but before that let me explain you a thing. This Aij means the number, the element has, which is present in the ith row and the jth column, and the, how you will pronounce this a11. This a11 means that the element which comes in the first row and the first column. Okay, and this a22 means the element which is present in the second column and the second row, and this here it means that the element which is present in the second row and the third column. The examiner can ask you some basic questions like, he will replace these numbers with some real numbers. Okay, and he will ask you to find out the values of a23 or some any other thing. Okay, let's take some examples, but before that pause the video, note it down. Okay students, let's take our first example, but before that let me tell you something. A equals to a I j and m cross n. What does this mean? This means that the matrix A is having ith ij number of element and with the order of m cross n. This was what we have read before. Okay, now let's take our first example, which is, I'm marking this as because this is quite important. And let's take the first example. Consider the following information regarding the number of men and women workers in three factories 1, 2 and 3. Represent the above information in form of 3 cross 2 matrix. What does the entry in the third row and the second column represent? Okay, let me make this man workers, women workers. I'm writing women just for, okay. The first factory, the number of man worker employed are 30 and women workers employed are 25, and in the second factory 25 female 31, and in the third and the last factory 27 for men and 26 for women workers. Okay, this is the information which is provided to us, and we need to present this information in form of 3 cross 2 matrix. We need to present this in the form of 3 cross 2 matrix. 3 cross 2 matrix. I'm writing here. Now let's have a look at the solution. What does this 3 cross 2 means? 3 cross 2 means the number of rows are 3 and the number of columns are just 2. Okay, Now let's represent this in the form of a matrix in the order of 3 cross 2, 30, 25 and 27 here, 25, 31 and 26 here. Okay, this is the matrix of order 3 cross 2. And what else we need to find out? We need to find out the element entry in the third row and the second column. Okay, what is then entry in the third row and the second column? Was second, third. This is the third row and the second column is this, and a 3 2 represents 26 equals to 26. This is the number of female workers employed in a third factory. Okay, let this be matrix equals to a. Okay, this was what I have done in this question. This was the very first example of this exercise. Okay, now next the examiner will ask you some questions, basic questions like construct 3 cross 2 matrix, and he will provide you some elements in the given structure. Okay, now let's have a look at the some other example, but before that pause the video to note it down. Okay students, our second example of this 3.1 intro is, if a matrix has 8 elements, what are the possible orders it can have? Let me write down the question. The question states that if a matrix has 8 elements, what are possible orders it can have? What are possible orders it can have? Orders it can have. Let's have a look at the solution. In this question, examiner is asking us to find out the number of possible orders if a matrix has 8 elements. Okay, here question mark will not come, here the full stop will come. Okay, we already know what are the orders. What does this order mean? This order means that how can we represent the matrix elements, okay, in the form of rows or columns. Okay, now let's see how we will represent the elements of a matrix. Okay, the possible order it can have is 1 cross 8, 2 cross 4, and what next, 4 cross 2, and at last 8 cross 1. These are the possible orders a matrix can have with elements A. Okay, these are the possible orders, and let me tell you the meaning of these orders. This means that the matrix which has the 8 elements will be represented in the form of 1 row and 8 columns, 2 rows 4 columns, 4 rows 2 columns, and 8 rows 1 column. Let me make a diagram for this. What does this mean? 1 cross 8. 1 cross 8 matrix will be looking like this. 1. I have imagined some numbers. 1, not 1. I'm making just general representation. A11, A12, A13, and at last it will end at A18. This matrix is of order 1 cross 8, and okay, if you want to make 2 cross 4 matrix, make it yourself, and if you have doubt, write in comment section. And also if you have made that, write in, tell me in comment section, have you made it? Okay, in yes or no. I'm telling you how you will make this 8 cross 1 matrix. Okay, 8 cross 1 matrix will look like this. This matrix will contain only one column, that's why it's looking so big. A11, A21, and at last it will end at A81. This means that this matrix is having 8 number of rows and 1 number of column. Okay, this was exercise 3.1 intro. And students, I'm not telling you types of matrix which are column matrix, the matrix which have only one column, and row matrix or square matrix, because these are quite easy topics in which you can also read yourself. And if you want to see where are these mentioned in the NCERT book, these topics are mentioned from the page number 61 and ending at the page number 63. Okay, in the next video we will talk about exercise 3.1, and I will also tell you how to construct a matrix of some orders. Okay, and apart from that we will also talk about quality of matrix. Okay, I'm leaving this video till here, and if you are in this topic or this in this matter, write in comment section. I'll explain you there. Thank you for watching this video, and if you like this video, please subscribe my channel and hit the like button. Thank you for watching this video once again.